The bird flu outbreak forced egg producer Cal Maine to stop production and cull nearly 2 million chickens at its plant in Palmer County, Texas. The number represents less than 4% of the company's flock and less than 1% of chickens in the U.S.
All the eggs were destroyed. The chickens are going to be destroyed, so it's completely safe.
This comes as 6 states are reporting outbreaks of avian flu among dairy cows. This week, a Texas dairy worker had pink eye after testing positive for the virus, becoming only the second known human case in the U.S. Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says there's no reason for people to be alarmed.
The good news is this is carried by migratory waterfowl. It's migratory season, but we're on the tail end of it.
Despite the outbreaks,
I mean, yeah, they say don't be alarmed, but they're also saying this bird flu could be 100 times deadlier than a pandemic was. All right. But I'm going to give all praises, glory, honor, and power to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Shemar, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, those who rule well and who I learned this truth from. All right. And salutations to the brothers stiffly pushing this one truth in all sincerity and diligence, risking your lives and freedoms to do so. And shalom to the rest of the elect as we all await the second Exodus coming quickly by the hands of Lord Yahweh Shah. All right, this your brother Chagabar, and I want to just touch on this bird flu virus, which could turn into a bird flu pandemic, you know, depending on how this thing continues to spread. All right, and what made me go ahead and do this lesson was the fact that apparently a human has, you know, died from this, and this just went out several hours ago, I believe. But it says bird flu fears surge as student dies from strain already in UK after developing a cough. Okay. It says a 21-year-old student has died after being infected with the highly pathogenic avian flu strain H5N1, which has already been detected in the UK and in the US. So this thing is spreading rapidly. It spreads amongst animals, all right, as well as it can spread throughout humans. Okay. And apparently there's reported a death, all right, due to this flu. It says a student has died just days after developing a cough that was being caused by a bird flu. It was highly pathogenic strain of the virus already detected in the US and the UK. The 21-year-old from Vietnam is confirmed to have been infected with avian flu strain H5N1. So, you know, this could be the start of the narrative. Okay, just kind of like what happened 4 years ago. You know, they start saying the cases, you know, the virus is spreading. You know, a lot of people are getting infected. You know, people are developing particular symptoms. You know, what you can't forget, you know, that white lung syndrome. Okay, they were calling a mystery pneumonia. All right, they were talking about it heavy, you know, how it was spreading amongst all these different countries, and then they just completely went silent on it. You know, and I'm like, you know, they do that with these things, man. They speak on them. All right, these particular, you know, viruses and shit, and then they just go silent. Okay, they was also talking about what was that? You had just different viruses, different pestilences, man, that, you know, they speak on briefly and then they go quiet. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, we know that a lot of people are talking about feeling sick after the eclipse. Okay, eclipse sickness or eclipse. You know, people are feeling insomnia. They're feeling queasy, if you will. And all of this could be related, is what I'm trying to say. All of it could be linked. You know, they could try to, you know, use this to again bring about another pandemic. I'm not saying that they're going to, all right, but this bird flu, you know, they could use it, okay, because they are saying it could be 100 times worse than C-19, which we know how bad that was. You know, we know what that led to, which we know that they were inflating the numbers, you know, and it was, you know, pretty much no matter what you die from, any natural cause, they were like, yep, that's the virus. Okay, which just could be the same case with this. Who knows? But honestly speaking, you know, we know that these devils really want to start depopulating. They really want to wipe people out. Okay, so as far as releasing a real, genuine, you know, virus and pestilence that actually starts killing people, that's really what they want to do this time around, man. Okay, all right, but we'll read a bit of this article. It says 100 times worse than C-19 is spreading across the world experts say about deadly H5N1 bird flu pandemic. Okay, so I don't know if they already declared it a pandemic or what. Let me look this up real quick. You know, because once it spreads to multiple countries, all right, that's when it's a pandemic. I don't know if the WHO went out and declared it a pandemic or not. A new emerging pandemic. So, yeah, I don't know if they went out and declared it a pandemic as of yet, but it's looking like it's shaping up to be a pandemic for the simple fact that it's spanning several countries. Okay, so we'll see how this plays out. You know what I'm saying? People are actually getting sick though, man. Like people have been sick. People have been sick ever since they started talking about the white lung syndrome, that cough, that mysterious cough and shit. And then they kind of went silent, you know, so ain't nothing changed, you know, ain't went away. They just distract you. There's so much going on that, you know, people forget about this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But let's read a bit. It says 100 times worse than COVID is spreading across the world. Experts say about deadly H5N1 bird flu pandemic. So it's an emerging pandemic, if you will. Experts are raising concerns about the potential rapid spread of bird flu, warning of a death toll possibly 100 times worse than a pandemic. Recent briefings highlighted worries over the H5N1 strain's ability to spark a global outbreak. Dr. Suresh Kuchipudi emphasized the virus's threat, noting its ability to infect various mammals, including humans. With recent cases showing human transmission potential, authorities are on high alert as H5N1 carries a high mortality rate compared to C-19. Wow, so a high mortality rate. And if it's infected these chickens and spreading through these different animals, well, it's the same food they feed the people, man. Okay, so we know, you know, this ain't it ain't happenstance. These devils, you know, they know what's going on, right? Whether or not these devils, you know, the chemtrails, the shit they spraying in the air, releasing viruses and shit, you know, these people that's jabbed up, or whether the Most High is, you know, just smiting these different animals with these the viruses that can spread to humans, because we know the Most High will do that, man. You know, destroy man and beast, because that's going to affect the food supply, you know, bring famine, bring pestilence and all those things. Okay, that's pretty much what he did to ancient Egypt. Okay, so this is nothing new. All right. And they're already going out and saying it's going to be way worse, 100 times worse. The mortality rate's going to be higher. And the numbers that we're going to see from this are likely going to be the real deal, unlike what happened 4 years ago. All right. And that's why they're already reporting, all right, that, you know, the student died from this. OK, you know, this might be the start of that narrative. You know, they might start pushing this out more so. But we'll see how they play this. It says concerns were expressed by experts over the bird flu pandemic's possible quick spread, which might result in a remarkably large death toll and be 100 times worse than C-19 pandemic, according to reports. Which just take the death, the number, you know, let's just take the inflated numbers that they were throwing out surrounding the C-19 pandemic and just look at what happened to society. You see what I'm saying? What happened to the economy? What happened to your day-to-day functions? You know, you going out, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know, quarantine, isolation. That's why we can't forget New York went out and passed that bill. So some isolation and quarantine bill, man, pretty much where they can go into your house and take you and your children off to quarantine if they expect you come down with some type of communicable disease. So they didn't pass that legislation for nothing, man. These devils are fully, you know, fully trying to bring about another, you know, pandemic. You see what I'm saying? Right. And a virus, you know, being released that's really going to be taking people out, man. OK. All right. You see, it says experts who expressed worries about the possibility of a fresh pandemic during a recent briefing on the H5N1 strain of bird flu were quoted in a paper. The virus is getting close to a tipping point where it might start a worldwide pandemic, according to scientists. So it's an emerging pandemic. This likely could be declared a pandemic. That's what they're saying. OK, and if that's the case, again, we seeing how bad what C-19 did to the economy, the businesses, you know, jobs and all those things, man. You saw. So how much more so if this shit happens all over again, but it's 100 times worse. You know, it's real, you know, the real deal, if you will. Okay. All right. But that's what expected to happen, man. All right. Dr. Suresh, a well-known bird flu expert in Pittsburgh, cautioned during a recent briefing that because H5N1 flu can infect a variety of mammals, including people, we are getting dangerously close to this virus potentially causing a pandemic. We are talking about a virus that is spreading prevalent worldwide and has already infected a variety of animals, or Salakia mammals. We are not really talking about a virus that hasn't made a leap yet. It's about time we get ready. Wow. So he's saying it's already happening. We're not talking about a virus that hasn't made a leap yet. It's about time we get ready. So it's already spread. It's already spreading. Like I said, that student died from it. Let's read this. It says, according to data from the WHO, since 2003, 52 out of every 100 persons infected have died, representing a fatality rate of more than 50%. In the meantime, the percentage of deaths from C-19 decreased to 0.1% from 20% at the beginning of the pandemic. So it's based off the numbers they're throwing out, whether or not, you know, it's fabrication as far as the mortality rate from C-19. What they're trying to convey to you is that this bird flu, the fatality rate is going to be substantially higher. I mean, even if it's just 50%, I mean, how many people came down with C-19, man? And so you would have to understand that half of them would pretty much be dead, due to this virus. So, real briefly wanted to touch on this, man. All right. This could be a cause for, or this could be the next pandemic. They're saying it's pretty much the emerging pandemic taking place right now. They kind of went silent on the white lung syndrome, that mystery lung pneumonia and shit, which it all might be interrelated. Maybe it's the same shit, or it's just, multiple virus the Most High's hitting this place with, man. But yeah, we know this is a sign of the end times, man, dealing with pestilences and shit. All right. So, real just wanted to touch on that, man. We're going to stay tuned and see how this pans out. All right. But, this, around this time not last year, but 4 years ago, but it was like at the end of March, they went out with the C-19 shit. So we about to see how the Most High turn this shit up, man. But anyways, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, DTA Wah Baba Ball. Shalom.